Welcome to the Straight Red Card. This show, we're going to do a number of segments in a row, but this one will be, well, how guys are faring this week abroad and how that might affect who Gregg picks down the line. Also, a Reyna and Pulisic update as far as health goes. In fact, we should start there because that's going to affect everything down the line. And it seems that Pulisic is on the verge of being ready to go. But then every time Tuchel thinks that, then I guess his ankle's sore again during training, and then we're back to point A. So I don't know whether to be optimistic, Brett, or not.
But optimistic for him being included in November?
Yes. That's all I care about. Screw Chelsea. I don't give a shit about Chelsea.
What I'm going to say here also goes with Reyna, quite frankly, and we'll get back into Pulisic a little more just based off some quotes and stuff like that Tuchel brought out. But quite frankly, for both of them, at this point, I would rather them not get included in the November friendlies because I don't want to take the chance of stressing something out again. So if they're continuing rehabbing it, let's say if Pulisic comes back, let's see, what day is it today? Holy shit, Jesus, it's getting closer and closer to that already. Let's say Pulisic comes back a week from today. That means he's going to have like 2 weeks,
couple games, maybe a couple games. Yeah,
I still wouldn't call him in because one, I feel we have enough depth up wide that I think we can survive the 2 games without the possibility of him getting injured again.
I think you could start Hoppy on that left. You could start Aronson over there. You could start Weah. I mean, as long as Weah, any mixture of Hoppy, Weah, and Aronson are starting, I think we can survive without Reyna and Pulisic for the time being. Mm-hmm. But it's going to make beating Mexico, I think, a little harder. Or maybe it won't. I don't know at this point. I mean,
given those players, man, we've been firing on all cylinders this last window, except minus the Panama game with none of those players really played. Well, I guess Weah played, but yeah. So no, I mean, unless his injury status changes immediately, my take is pass on November. Let's move on to and he has all of December to recover at Chelsea, and then we're back to things in January.
Yeah, and Reyna's injury shouldn't have taken this long either, but it has too. And I guess that's a lot more serious of a pull than anybody thought when he sat out. So I'd rather than risk early injuring them again and then continuing this crazy cycle of them coming to camp and re-injuring something, probably better. We have the depth. We can handle it. I don't want to do this much longer because I think those are your 2 starting wingers. Although Filippo moved, was pretty defiant about moving Reyna down to an 8 today on a show. I just don't see Gregg doing that. So I think he's.
Well, I mean, we're talking about 2 totally different things here. One, what we could do, and that's moving Reyna to an 8, which is where he plays more or less with Dortmund at this point, or what Berhalter will do. Those are 2 totally different things.
Yeah,
we have shows about that almost every week.
I mean, you gotta have to. I know, but you got to take into serious consideration what Berhalter does. And again, on the later segments, we'll do a show where we give you what we think Berhalter's going to do, and then what we would do different. So that's coming down the line. And then before that, we'll talk about Ricardo Pepi and his situation and where he might go abroad. Before we start getting into this week's games, I was just so funny. So I'm watching the Browns and Broncos tonight, and here's something you will never hear 2 announcers discuss a soccer game like. So they were talking about at the beginning of the game who they thought would win, and one guy said it's going to be the Browns over the Broncos in a rock fight. And I'm thinking, in a rock fight? Really? Is that a saying? Have I missed that? Is that a saying? Is that how you describe it, in a rock fight? I've been in rock fights. They're pretty unpleasant. So I guess it's a good metaphor, but I don't know. Have you heard that before?
No, I'm sure he was referring to something like it's going to be a grind. It's going to be a battle back and forth. But a rock fight? No, I've never heard anybody refer to anything like that. Rock fight.
Have you been in a rock fight?
I've been in bottle rocket wars.
Me too. We were so stupid when
airsoft battles.
How everybody's eyes are still in their heads is beyond me at this point. But
we were stupid lucky. There was enough Darwinism going on in the world that we managed to avoid it.
Dude, we would go out. There'd be like a group of 10 of us, and we put all our money in for mowing lawns or whatever, and we'd go out and buy like a 64 pack of fucking bottle rockets. And then you had to go out and create a tube where you could put it in and it would shoot it out the tube at the other team. So yeah, it was crazy. It was like 5 against 5 with 3 different tubes on each side. Everybody got like 10 shots at the other group. I mean, we were morons. We had BB fights. Yeah. How I have eyeballs, I do not know. All right, so let's move on to this week's games. Who played, who didn't play, how that might affect things going forward. I'm just going to say knock off the guys that aren't going to, they're not that important, but I'm going to tell you they played. Alex Mighton played 20 for Nottingham Forest. Wingo played, I believe, the full 90 for Farron Vaccaro. Somebody said I'm not pronouncing that right, but that's how I've been pronouncing it for a long time. So that's not going to change. Malik Tillman went the full for Bayern Munich 2. Christopher, I can't remember his name now. Anyhow, he didn't play at all. The other guy that's on Bayern. And I didn't see our other guy on there either. Forgot his name. Taylor Booth. I didn't see him even on the roster, so he might have like a pull or a hammy or something. Dwayne Holmes, who looks to be pretty far out of our picture, went 90 or just less than 90, 70, I believe, somewhere around there. And then the rest of the people are relevant for Tuesday and Wednesday, and that is Adams went the full 90 in a loss, unfortunately. CCV went the full 90 in a win. So I don't know. People have been saying time to start paying attention to Cameron Carter Vickers. All right. Well, I'm keeping an eye on him. I'm watching some of the footage. Yeah. Tim Ream and Robinson both went the full in wins for Fulham this week. And Fulham are currently second in the table. So they're well on to replacing Norwich City next season.
God. Tag, you're in.
Poor Sargent. All right. Then we got Dest, who went the full 90, had a really good game. They won. That was good. They've been having an up and down season, but really they're only a few points out of second or third or something like that at this point. So it's not time to panic if you're Barcelona. Although I know the stakes are high. Aronson, again, went the full 90. Most of this stuff we're talking about, of course, is either UEFA League or Champions League. Siabatu went, I believe, not the whole game, did not have a good game, was yanked around the 70th, I think. I just watched highlights of that. He wasn't in it, and he's a striker. He wasn't in the highlights, so there you go. Timothy Weah got the last 10 for Lille, and then McKennie went the full for Juventus. Had an up and down game, had some great moments, had some moments, always has great defensive moments tracking back, but missed another opportunity to score today or Wednesday. So that was kind of, oh, come on, get one.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing Juve's coach always talks about is like, he likes West because of his offensive prowess and his ability to score, and that he's so close to getting those goals. But then he's always on that chopping block, always that talk for a transfer that might come up in the January window. I
just think the manager
hope he just starts notching a couple goals, and then he gets his confidence back, and then bam, it's last season all over again.
I mean, yeah, because he had 8 goals last season, somewhere around there.
Then
now the new manager comes in and says, no, that's not good enough. We need you to score between 10 and 12. And now the goals aren't coming like they did last year. They were almost easy last year. Not that a side volley is easy. It's not as hard as people think it is, but it's not easy. It was a great goal, and he had a lot of great goals just coming out of nowhere last year. But this year, man, they've just kind of dried up. So I hope that gets fixed for him soon, although it's not going to make a difference.
I guess in fairness, one thing to consider with last year compared to this year is last year he was relied heavily on throughout the season to fill in spots. So he played the vast majority of games.
It seemed like also he played a lot more advanced sometimes last season than he does now. I feel like Juventus are playing a lot more defense this year, and it's because they're not. And might not statistically be true, but it seems like the games I watched, they're pretty even games. Whereas last year, there were a lot of blowout games for them here and there, and where they held all the possession. So he could get up the field a lot more. And maybe, maybe that's just something that's coming up in my brain. It's not statistically true, but that seems what it looks like. We moved to Thursday. Sam Vines is back, folks.
Hey.
So be prepared for him to make the next team as a backup for Berhalter.
After one game?
I'm not even kidding about that. Well, he's going to play a couple more. He went to full 90, and they had a decent game. I think it finished in a tie in UEFA. So there you go. Christian Kappas played for Brøndby for 80. DeAndre Yedlin went to full 90 for Galatasaray. Looking good. Making a case to coach, keep an eye on me. And then Brian Reynolds and fucking Roma got stomped. And they didn't get stomped by like some big club. Dude, they got stomped by Bodo Glimt. Bodo Glimt.
Holy shit. I just saw that, yeah.
6-1. Don't watch those highlights. They are hard to watch. I mean, it's a massacre.
How did Brian play?
Horrible. He and the whole team played like total garbage. They looked like they were Bodo Glimt, and the other team looked like they were Roma. And this is right after the special one said, hey, man, we're taking these conference UEFA games serious. Not very serious, apparently. Because he played Brian Reynolds, who hasn't got a sniff, right? And he played a bunch of other guys that haven't really got much playing time. So, no, he's bullshitting. He played like the second team, not the whole second team, but a bunch of second team guys. And they got
in fairness. I would imagine even second team Roma should not be getting beat 6-1 to Bodo Glimt.
Can you look up Bodo Glimt? Are they not a they're a fucking Norwegian team, aren't they?
Glimt.
They're from Norway, I'm pretty sure. My brain doesn't always operate on full speed, but especially during these shows. But I'm pretty sure they're a Norwegian team, and they're not a bad Norwegian team, but they're a Norwegian team, and they're playing fucking Roma and smoking Roma.
Yeah, they're Norwegian,
like a cheap bowl of fucking weed. Holy crap! They just smoked them, spit them out, threw it on the ground afterwards, and said that weed sucks. You suck, Roma. Oh my God. Anyhow, Alejandro Zendejas keeps kicking ass in Mexico. In Liga MX. Nice. Scored another goal. Went to full 90. Got the win. Or was it? Yeah, I think it was a win for his team. I can't even remember now. That was today, and that's the sad thing. I can't remember the game. Sebastian Salcedo, he went to full 90, got an assist. They won the game. That's UNAM. So should you pay attention to him? Not really. He's still a one-trick pony. Joaquin Hernandez went 10. And then we get to the did not plays this week. Horvath, Road Pine for 90. Otasawi didn't even make the fucking team for Club Brugge. That is not working out for him. And the reports I am reading and translating from foreign papers is this is not going well for him. Apparently he has a bad attitude.
Yeah, attitude problems. We saw that with Green too, early on in his career.
Early on, yes. So it's fixable, but dude, you've got an attitude problem. I mean, Wolverhampton were just like, take him, please. Take this kid. Buy him, please, from us. Stefan didn't play. Gooch is still injured, but nobody cares about Gooch. He's playing so far down the ladder. Christopher Scott, there was the name I was trying to think of early. Didn't play for Bayern 2. Road Pine the whole 90, which is odd. He's usually a starter. Matthew Olasunde still hurt for Preston North End. Of course, no Pulisic, no Reyna. And then De La Fuente road pond for Marseille for 90. That is not a good sign at all. And it seems like they either play him and then he doesn't have the great game and then they just bench him and then give him maybe 10 or nothing in this case. And surprisingly, Timothy Chandler did not start for Frankfurt this week.
Weird.
He's been a normal starter for them. McKenzie got benched for Lucimi again. So that's going to hurt him going forward. Oof, I got to tell you, that's Lucimi is a higher thought of prospect than McKenzie, but they keep giving McKenzie chances. And then he goes out and has another flubber. You can't do that. He's going to have to go out and have a great fucking game, an impressive game. Not a, oh yeah, that was okay game, a great game for Genk. Otherwise, this is going to be going on all season long for him. Lucimi's just got his number and they value Lucimi. In fact, there's a lot of talk. There are other teams that want to buy Lucimi during this next transfer window. So uphill battle for him.
Yeah.
And did you have any other? There were some MLS things to note. If you're still interested in up and coming MLS players, Brandon Vasquez got a goal and an assist for Cincy. He was at one point thought of as a prospect going forward, right?
Still came out ahead though. Woo!
I know your boys did win
The 94th minute.
yeah. Cincy is. That's a bad. I'm surprised that. Yeah, man, they're just so bad this year. I mean, they got Jeff Cameron who got an assist today too. Well, I guess they're not as bad as last year. What are they now on the table?
Oh, they're still eliminated.
That's what I thought. Another shitty season without playoffs. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're talking about Chicago too there.
Yeah, but Chicago just beat those losers. So there you go.
Yeah, since he's sitting bottom of the East.
That's what I thought. They're god fucking awful. But when you look at their lineup, Caleb Stanko, they have a lot of really good players. But something else is going wrong there because Jeff Cameron would, I think, qualify as one of the better center backs. He slowed down a little bit in MLS and a good leader. But I thought that would help them, but it hasn't. I mean, it's been bad. Kevin Paredes, an assist for DC United. Everybody's talking about him going overseas. So someone to keep an eye on. Hey, Indiana Vasilev, that the guy on loan from Aston Villa to Inter Miami went the full 90.
Is he on loan? I figured that Aston Villa would have just gotten rid of him.
No, they loaned him out to Inter Miami, and that's where he is for the season. Had a good game. They beat Toronto, but Toronto are garbage this season. So don't talk to me about Michael Bradley. Don't talk to me about goddamn Josie Altidore, who doesn't even start.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought he was injured because he didn't start against Chicago the other day.
Now, he came in for like the last 15 or 20 in this game. I mean, Toronto just, with the players they have, they should not be this bad, but it might say something about the aging of some of their players. Chris Mueller with a goal, Mihailovic with an assist, your old guy. Hollingshead, nobody talks about, but he got another goal. Jesus Ferreira with an assist. Pepe seems to be somewhat languishing in an injury bug. Hopefully not serious. I read reports. I couldn't find anything detailed on Pepe's injury. He was left out of the whole team today. Kleshin had another goal. I think that's the second goal in 2 games. I mean, he's obviously old and off the picture, although you never know with Greg. And then Christian rolled on. God damn it, quit scoring. Quit scoring, Christian, for Seattle. You're just giving, Greg the reasons to call you back up again. Stop scoring. Brian White, ex-Red Bull guy goal. There's this kid, though, for San Jose. I've talked about him once before. Ben Kikanovic, and he's a forward, plays for San Jose. He's a young kid. He's really good, dude. He got another goal this week. Yeah. So, I mean, he's not another goal, but he's playing a lot more and more and more and more. And now he scored, whereas Cade Cowell's coming off the bench. So what does that tell you? Cade Cowell only played like 20, 25 minutes. Again, Caden Clark isn't playing for Red Bull New York. So again, if you're not playing for your club team, unless your name's legit, you're probably not going to get a look from Berhalter. No.
Sure.
So, and then Wando got a goal. Just got to throw Wando in there because the guy is like, he's on his last breath and he's still scoring in MLS. And so that's it for MLS Update 2, or players of note in MLS we're keeping an eye on who performed or did something neat this week. I think that's going to do it for now. We're going to move on to the next segment. Until the next time, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your Uncle Ralph, and we'll see you